As my plastic surgeon always said, if you gotta go, go with a smile.
Gas. He's going to kill everybody!
Everybody keep their masks on until they're out of here and out of danger. Listen, this is a hell of a way to get out of here. What's the matter with you?
Major Walsh.
Yes, sir. I'll have the rest of them off the mountain in 1 hour.
Take it off! Take it off! Take it off! Take it off!
Crazy!
Take it off! Take it off!
Take it off! Take it off! Who is this?
Golden Globe winner and Academy Award nominee from the scariest movie ever, from The Exorcist, is Linda Blair!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Wow!
Lionsgate is bringing back the mask mandates, okay? So they decided to go ahead and reinstate it after a possible outbreak that happened at the offices, as reported yesterday. So apparently there's been a rise of COVID cases in Los Angeles when Lionsgate brought back the mask mandate for nearly half the company's employees at its flagship office. The policy change was announced internally by Summer McElroy, who's the response manager for Lionsgate and Stars, in an email. It was also implemented in response to several employees recently tested positive for COVID. It involves a mandatory mask mandate effective immediately and until further notice for the 3rd and 5th floors of the 5-story building, according to the email. The email said that employees must wear a medical grade face covering or surgical mask, K95 or N95 when indoors, except for when alone in the office with the door closed, actively eating, actively drinking at their desk or workstation, or if they are the only individual present in large open workspace.
Tired of wearing the same old face Halloween after Halloween? Why not try a Fright Night nose mask from Bud and Bud Light? There's Batface, Scary Witch, Mr. Pumpkin, and Big Black Cat. Best of all, these amazing masks are available where Bud and Bud Light are sold. So, next time...
I love this one.
I have one thing to say.
Sick.
Do you mind putting your mask back on? Do you mind putting your mask back on?
I love this one.
I have one thing to say.
Sick.
But like sick in a good way.
Mask. It's sick.
Obsessed.
It's sick.
Obsessed.
Brandon said it, but you must be hot.
I'm feeling so satisfied.
But like sick in a good way.
Hi, COVID.
Hello.
Lionsgate is also planning to conduct contact tracing and providing at-home COVID tests upon request to those who request for it or who feel that they may need it. Now, the LA County Department of Public Health reported recently small increases in COVID-19 indicators over the past 4 weeks, indicating increased transmission. And they stressed this in the statement that overall metrics remain at a low level of concern. Now, if we've seen this before, that means that the metrics are someday going to rise up again.
I need to see Bruce Wayne.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wayne doesn't take unscheduled calls, even from a police officer.
And if I go get a warrant for the investigation of Harvey Dent's murder, I still count as unscheduled.
What can I do for you, officer?
Commissioner Gordon's been shot. He chased a gunman down into the sewers. I pulled him out. He was babbling about an underground army, a masked man called Bane.
Well, shouldn't you be telling your superior officers about this?
They asked me if he saw any giant alligators. He needs you. He needs the Batman.
Commissioner Gordon thinks...
Oh, he doesn't know or care who you are. But we've met before. It was a long time ago. I was a kid. St. Swithin's. It used to be funded by the Wayne Foundation. It's an orphanage.
And that is Bruce Wayne's grandfather, Mrs. Cooper?
His great-grandfather.
I understand he was tapped for Skull and Bones.
Tapped for it? Sir, he founded Skull and Bones.
My mom died when I was small. It was a car accident. I don't really remember it. But my dad got shot a couple years later over a gambling debt. And I remember that one just fine. Not a lot of people know what it feels like, do they? To be angry in your bones.
Where am I? Grandpa? What are you doing here?
Chris, welcome to the Skull and Bones Society. This is where the most powerful men in the world are groomed for their futures. Every president, every CEO, every douchebag named Ryan Seacrest. The Skull and Bones Society has been a part of my family for decades, and we want you to become a member.
Really? Wow, cool!
Excellent! You get your own stock portfolio, a percentage of the 9/11 Victims Fund, and the best medical care on the planet. You'll be kept as healthy as a horse.
I mean, they understand. Foster parents, everybody understands. For a while. Then they want the angry little kid to do something he knows he can't do. Move on. So after a while, they stop understanding. They send the angry kid to a boys' home. I figured it out too late. You gotta learn to hide the anger. Practice smiling in the mirror. It's like putting on a mask.
Gas masks are often used in times of war. But the demand for them is skyrocketing thanks to the coronavirus pandemic, wildfires, and protests.
We're sending survival kits to Turkey, to Japan, to Australia, to the European Union.
Roman Zdrajewski sells safety gear through his company, Mira Safety. His main customers used to be traditional doomsday preppers who feared nuclear disasters. But that has changed. His daily sales are 20 times higher than they were last year.
The people who are purchasing are really just normal, everyday citizens looking to protect themselves. People are actually really excited about it. They're like, wow, I can't believe you guys created these products. This is great.
His most popular product is a full-face gas mask.
It works perfect for any kind of viral contaminants.
Masks have long been used as a protection for diseases, but they have mostly been used in times of turmoil. World War I soldiers used respirators to protect against new chemical agents. Fears of another war drove the British government to distribute millions of masks to civilians in 1938. They were also seen on the streets during the political upheaval of the 1960s. Roman also worries about his family. After his daughter Sophia was born, he introduced hazmat suits for children and even respirators for babies.
You start thinking about all the possibilities of things that could happen, and you want to make sure that your daughter is protected.
And Roman's clients haven't just been asking about ways to protect their kids.
I'm sorry, sir. You're inquiring about what exactly?
Your gas mask section. There's a carrier for a small child or a dog.
Yes, sir.
Under 30 pounds.
Yes, sir.
I love my little dog.
And he expects the calls to keep coming.
Coronavirus continues to spread, and all the civil unrest we've been seeing across the country. So we see our business growing, and we're just stocking up on as much product as possible to prepare for that.
When somebody puts on a mask, it's transformative. As soon as you put that mask on, nobody knows who you are. You have become that person.
Oh, it's on.
Release the meteor!
He's looking at you, kid.
I dig it.
So you showed up this one day. In a cool car, pretty girl on your arm. We were so excited. Bruce Wayne, billionaire orphan. I mean, we used to make up stories about you, man.
In a few moments, Bruce Wayne will be live on stage to explain his sudden interest in Gotham politics. The infamous Playboy millionaire has never been one to...
Billionaire, Vicky. Millionaires are so last year.
Legends. And you know, the other kids, that's all it was, just stories. But right when I saw you, I knew who you really were. I'd seen that look on your face before. It's the same one I taught myself. I don't know why you took the fall for Dent's murder, but I'm still a believer in the Batman, even if you're not.
Why did you say that your boys' home used to be funded by the Wayne Foundation?
Because the money stopped. Might be time to get some fresh air, start paying attention to the details. Some of those details might need your help.
They're all covered with filthy germs, aren't they, Smithers?
Why, what do you mean, sir?
Freemasons run the country!
Good morning, Miss Garcia.
Good morning, sunshine. I miss you. I could kiss you right now.
Someday.
Curfew is now in effect. All unauthorized citizens must stay indoors.
Tensions rise as we enter the 213th week of lockdown.
A grim new reality emerges.
COVID-23 has mutated.
Beginning thermal scan. Thermal scan normal.
A horrifying new development
New
today.
data confirms the virus attacks the brain tissue.
Hey, whoa! I'm immune! I'm immune!
Worldwide death toll rises to over 110 million.
All infected Americans are being forced into quarantine camps.
Sarah, what's going on?
Department of Sanitation. And giving it back to you, the people.
And we give it back to you, the people.
But we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
And we give it back to you, the people.
This mask is from the future, and just wait till you see how much this costs. This is the Cootie mask, and this has some insane features. This has a completely customizable display, and these eyes actually show emotion. When I talk, the lips on the mask move like this, and even the eyes blink on the mask. This is insane, and what's more insane is that this recognizes nods. Can it show text with head movements? Do I like Maggie with ketchup? You can also choose from a ton of different trippy faces and go crazy at a party. What's insanely cool is that these lights sync with music and your face becomes a visualizer. You can also choose different emotions to show on this mask: happy, sad, angry, love. You can even have custom text on this display. This is for all the party animals out there and for people who don't know what to do with their money.
This is an interesting piece, Mr. Ipkiss. Looks like 4th or 5th century Scandinavian. Possibly a representation of one of the Norse night gods. Maybe Loki.
Loki? Who's Loki?
The Norse god of mischief. Supposedly he caused so much trouble that Odin banished him from Valhalla forever.
Then he could have banished him into that mask.
I'm talking about mythology, Mr. Ipkiss. This is a piece of wood.
But your book.
My book is about masks as a metaphor, Mr. Ipkiss. A metaphor, not to be taken literally.
A number of years ago, I was in a little town, Darjeeling, on the northern boundary of India, where it met Tibet. And there were several visitors from various countries, and the hotel management decided it would be appropriate to give a little entertainment in the Tibetan spirit. So they brought in about a half a dozen Tibetan dancers with their masks and regalia to entertain. And among them was a little boy about 8 years old, a very cute, chubby little rascal, and everyone liked immediately. But when the time for the dance came, he put on one of the most grotesque masks you'd ever want to see. He really was, it looked like a nightmare. And of course everyone knew it was the little boy. But during the dance, he started and moved over very rapidly towards the audiences, always getting ready to attack them. And you should have seen the audience scatter. They all knew it was a little boy, but with the mask, something happened. And a real spirit of ancient and primary fear moved in on those people. They actually, subconsciously, were terrified. On another occasion, I remember in the Japanese no drama, where the principal actors are masked. Many of the themes are highly sacred, and in the various performances, the actors are nearly always concealed behind these wood-carved masks that are well painted and decorated, but of course have no expression except that of the original carving. But under a careful handling of lights, particularly by the postures of the head in relationship to the source of light, these faces seem to change. And in moments of joy, the face really seemed to smile. And in sorrow, the face looked very tragic. And yet it was done with a wooden mask, but everyone felt it. The skill with which the mask was handled was the principal factor. In the southwest of the United States, we have a series of ritualistic dances by the various Indian tribes, the Zunis, Hopis, Navajo. These dances often include masked figures, and everyone knows that these masked figures are members of the local community. One of the men with a mask, very carefully developed, rather crude mask concealment, actually has two children in the audience. They all know that it's father, but when he dances toward them with a sacred pollen, they kneel instinctively as though he was a god. Something happens when the masks begin to take a part in religious ritual.
What was I gonna do? I let myself go, and now we're flying through.
Somebody needs to help her. Someone needs to help her.
Somebody get up there. Hey, somebody go up there.
She's choking. Get a medic right now.
Now.
Watch that.
I'm right here to take it off.
Brave citizen of Staten Island, thank you for your participation in this groundbreaking experiment. You are one of the pioneers. In 1 week, you will make history. As part of a program that could change our nation forever, you will be among the first Americans to purge. The experiment will commence with the sound of this alarm. For the next 12 hours, all crime within the Staten Island borders will be legal, and all emergency services will be suspended.
That siren, known by many from the movie The Purge, was not received well by some living in Crowley. Chris Walty spoke to the chief on his decision to sound the siren as a part of the city's curfew.
Crowley Police Chief Jimmy Broussard says he's never seen the purge, but he knows the sound to be an old military siren. Since the alert Thursday night, the department has received mixed messages about their curfew warning to residents. Ty Abshire was caught off guard when he heard the purge siren echoing through the streets of Crowley around 9 o'clock Thursday night.
It was just crazy. I knew they had the curfew, but nobody was expecting to hear that kind of siren.
Police Chief Jimmy Broussard says his intent was never to scare anyone.
As we examined it, we didn't want to go through with our regular sirens because we didn't want to create more havoc. And one of the officers who is military approached me and said, well, you know, Chief, there is an old military siren that was used. It was used in the movie Purge, but it's been used for many, many years. And after listening to it, I said, well, it's a more muffled tone. It, wouldn't create to me as much havoc.
The department has since received more than 500 comments on Facebook questioning why they use the siren and why the curfew is being strictly enforced.
It was to remind people that this is a very serious matter. It's a very serious disease. It's a very serious pandemic going on. I think part of the issue is people are not seeing, even if they look at the statistics, it's not real to them.
What do you want, Crowley? I want your soul, of course. That is, my master wants. Do it yours. Give me my sister. You're a businessman, Mr. Wayne. You know that saying something doesn't make it so. I'll need a contract. Inked in your blood. Oh, please spare me this bilge. I don't believe in Satan. Oh, you're modern, rational, well-educated, a civilized man of peace and moderation. Of course you don't believe in Satan, but that doesn't matter. Satan believes in you. Cutie, it's you he wants. Your spiritual essence, not your company.
Alistair is just a very wise and loving man. A teacher.
In exchange for my sister's liberty, I have to sell my soul to the devil. Precisely.
Abshire says he understands the chief's intentions, but says people on Facebook are now going too far.
A lot of posts on Facebook saying, oh, I know who I'm going to go kill tonight. Oh, it's your time. Oh, you have it coming. Things like that. So I've just definitely thought a better siren could have been issued.
Our purpose was to let people know, and if they know now, even through this, how dangerous this pandemic is, how dangerous this COVID-19 is, then okay, it was accomplished.
Abshire hopes through all of this, people do see the good work first responders are doing to stop the spread of COVID-19.
Thank y'all, and continue to do what y'all do and be heroes out on these streets.
The chief says moving forward, he doesn't plan to use any sirens for a situation like this. In Crowley, Chris Welty, KATC TV3.
Weapons of Class 4 and lower are authorized for use. All other weapons are restricted. You can purge as an individual or as a group for whatever reason you choose. You may want to settle a personal score or simply release the rage that is burning inside of you. If you believe in the goals of the experiment but do not wish to participate, leave a sign of support outside your home. We suggest a bouquet of blue baptisia flowers, a symbol of rebirth. News media and government surveillance will operate with a heavy presence throughout the experiment. If you are concerned about revealing your identity, we suggest you wear a disguise or a mask. However you choose to purge, you are a true patriot. God bless you and all who purge. And God bless the United States of America, a nation reborn.
Masks were used in Egypt, we know, in the temple mysteries. And even today, the various carvings and manuscripts of Egyptian origin show human beings with the masks of birds and animals. The Greeks used masks in their theater also. Nearly always a mask becomes a complete change of personality. If accompanied by adequate religious ritual, the mask becomes a secret of the development of a peculiar theological belief that there was a divine power in the mask. And when it was worn correctly and under ritual supervision, it brought a deity into contact with humanity. Well, in the course of time, the mask cults have gradually faded, but in many primitive countries they still survive. Then came another step forward in the study of human psychology. It is almost impossible for the average person to understand a completely abstract principle.
Tell us about your head-to-toe look.
When I was designing, I just wanted to play around with pattern and kind of break down the monotony of what otherwise plaid could do. So I just started cutting it up. I wanted to create shapes. I wanted to create volume.
What I loved here is the boldness of that.
The last time you were here, I believe you were about to receive a very prestigious honor, the OBE, which stands for?
Order of the British Empire.
Order of the British Empire.
Yes. Officer, no. No, I think it's officer. Officer of the British Empire. I can't remember.
Seems like you should know that.
Yeah, I should know that.
This is a photograph. You showed up wearing a kilt, which is tradition.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I assume it's tradition.
It is. Well, I mean, I love wearing the kilt, and it's not often you get. I'm not wearing my kilt around LA a lot.
No.
So this was a
very,
very.
You did.
I know. Maybe I should wear it more often. But this is a very special occasion, and so I wore it on that.
What is the thing in the front here? Is this where the bagpipes go?
No, that's a sporran. And it covers the zip.
Sporran is the Scottish word for fanny pack?
There's no zip.
Zip.
I said it covers the zip, but it's for keeping your keeping your pocket change in.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, that's practical. Yeah, I guess you do need a place for your wallet.
It's a pocket.
Yeah, you can't really tuck that in back there, can you?
No.
And then you of course, there's the prince, and were there a lot of rules as far as meeting the prince?
Yeah, there's a lot of people honoured on this day, and it was a really lovely, special thing. There's a lot of servicemen given MBs or OBs or CBs, whatever, and some interesting people, different people from different walks of life. But as you go out, there's a guy that comes and tells you exactly what you're meant to walk out, bow, step forward, shake his hand, and then at the end you're meant to step back, bow, don't shake his hand, and it's the simplest thing in the world, but when it comes to your turn, you're guaranteed to get it all wrong.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And then if an actor can't get it right, who is going to get it right?
I was thinking, oh, that's easy. And then everyone's standing in the wings looking to check.
Did you know that the honor you got is better than the ones the Beatles got? The Beatles got an MBE, you got an OBE, and OBE ranks higher than MBE.
Is that right?
I'm told. Anyway. So, although, years later, Paul McCartney got a knighthood. So he could have you beheaded if he wanted.
He could take my head off, yeah.
As soon as she walked out, I thought, oh, she's sick. As soon as she walked out, I thought, oh, she's sick. But like sick in a good way. It's sick. The outfit is sick.
I loved COVID's look. Thank you. Do you mind putting your mask back on?
Notice COVID's detail, this 3D applique.
I mean, it just gets better. You should probably take the mask off.
Yeah.
Can you breathe in there?
A little bit. A little better like
It's a good look, but we want to keep you alive. It's a good look, but we want to keep you alive.
Do you mind putting your mask back on? Do you mind putting your mask back on?
It is very hard to visualize something that has no form, or to visualize an energy which is completely unembodied. From very early times, it became apparently necessary to present nearly all of the important truths of life symbolically.
With more activity outside our homes, we would now advise people to wear a cloth face covering in enclosed spaces where social distancing is not always possible, and you're more likely to come in contact with people you don't normally meet. The reason is face coverings can help to protect each other and reduce the spread of the disease, particularly if you have coronavirus-like symptoms. But this does not mean, I must stress this does not mean wearing medical face masks, 2R or FFP3, which must be reserved for people who need them.
Do you think we should wear masks forever?
Indefinitely?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, be quiet.
Why are you guys so anti-dictators? Imagine if America was a dictatorship. You could let 1% of the people have all the nation's wealth. You could help your rich friends get richer by cutting their taxes and bailing them out when they gamble and lose. You could ignore the needs of the poor for healthcare and education. Your media would appear free, but would secretly be controlled by one person and his family. I know this is hard for you Americans to imagine, but please try.
I wear a mask to keep my grandmother safe.
My dad. My sister, who's immunocompromised.
I wear a mask to protect my coworkers, to make my office safe.
So businesses can stay open and don't close again, and jobs can come back.
I wear a mask to help my favorite restaurant.
To help my favorite store.
To protect my customers.
Please wear a mask in public. It's up to all of us.
Gonna be all right. And remember, stay safe, sane, and sanitized.
For too long, a small group in our nation's capital
Are corrupt.
has reaped the rewards of government,
The rich.
while the people have borne the cost.
The oppressors of generations who have kept you down with myths of opportunity.
Out of hope, one more bad break could bring a fall. When I'm far from home, don't call me on the phone to tell me you're alone. It's easy to deceive.
The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country.
And do you accept the resignation of all of these liars, of all the corrupt?
That all changes starting right here and right now, because this moment is your moment. It belongs to you.
None shall interfere. Do as you please.
January 20th, 2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again. The United States of America.
It will endure.
Eyes without a face. Eyes without a face. Face, got no human grace. Your eyes without a face.
Take this. What is this? A way out.
I'm going to vote blue.
Vote for who you want. This is a free dictatorship.
If we turn against each other based on divisions of race or religion,
Come on, try getting it out.
Ding, 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 ding.
Come on, folks.
Can I go home now?